I have spent the last month with this Ibanez, and now it's great time for me to provide you my review and opinion about this Ibanez. And hopefully this video helps you to decide if this scooter is for you or if it's not for you. And for starters, I can reveal that this is, in my opinion, the most versatile scooter under $200 and the best option for the most people under $200. But still, this is not the best option for everyone. And by watching this video, you will learn why. You can see the structure of this review over there, and you can use the timestamps of this video to jump to the section that you want to see. And you can check the latest price of this scooter by clicking the link in the description. This helps me to provide more content and it adds no extra cost for you. We will start with the overview of this Ibanez. First, a little bit different Ibanez looking headstock shape, and the headstock coloring and logo. It's a little bit cheap looking, but yeah, this is a cheap scooter, so it's not that bad. And then the fretboard, 22 medium frets. Action was really low out of the box and playing was effortless, but some fret buzz was present. I've had kind of mixed info about the fretboard radius. On the Ibanez site, they say that it's 12 inches, and for some music retailers site, they say that it's 15 inches. But personally, I would guess that fretboard radius with this one is 14. I'm not sure, but this is not 12 at least, so I'm not completely sure. But I took the info from Ibanez's side and put that over here. And then the Chattelback fretboard. Again, here some music retailers state that it's purple haired, but on Ibanez's side they say Chattelback fretboard. Kind of standard, not with for many electric scooters. Great place to start for beginners. Plastic nut, I would take this before synthetic bone nut on this price range every day. Yeah, this is more durable in my opinion. And then the poplar body, quilted maple top, looks great. Not my favorite color, but still. And then we have the kind of Ibanez's budget pickups, but great for the money. More about those leather, infinity humbuckers, neck and bridge, and then the infinity single coil. And this scooter has standard 25.5 scale length. Then tuners, solid for the price, definitely. Not the best on this price range, but didn't cause too many problems for me. Fine tuning with these was okay. At first, I didn't find the neck shape listed on Ibanez's site, but they state that it's GRX shape, but that really doesn't tell us much. But it's kind of the close to slim D in my opinion. Really thin, but not too wide either. And then the smooth maple neck feels pretty great. And with the neck, everything looks great. It's well attached with this axe. Knobs, volume and tone knobs, nice looking, fit the scooter well. And let's look at the inside of the backplate. And here everything looks really good in my opinion. I think that with the solderings and the electronics here, this scooter has the best and cleanest job from these 5 scooters under 200 that I have tested. Some extra wiring if you need to change something, that's a nice plus. And then the ground wire well attached to tremolo plug. No cracks, looks great, all is well attached. Yeah, everything looks as it should under the backplates. And I also measured the resistance of the pickups. These give us some indications about how much output these pickups can offer. If you have more resistance, it means more output, and less resistance, less output. And not the hottest pickups on this price point. Neck one, it's kind of quite hot for the scooters that I have tested. Basic single coil. And then the bridge is slightly colder than with the other humbuckers on this price range. And I also tested if this scooter has some uneven frets, and yeah, some first and third fret are higher than the second, and this was probably the reason why I had some fret buzz out of the box with this axe. But yeah, on this price point you can expect uneven frets. I had uneven frets with every one of these scooters that I had tested on this price point. And then I measured the string spacing and the nut width, and you can see those on the graph right now. And about the string spacing, this Ibanez has slightly wider string spacing than most of the scooters on this price range. I think the Squire had the same string spacing, but what this does to you, it makes the finger picking at least a little bit more easier, and especially if you have really thick fingers, then also your fret hand, it will make playing a little bit more easier because you are not hitting the wrong strings so easily. And for me, even though that I have really tiny hands, finger picking is easier with this scooter. The looks of this scooter. Personally, I really like the quilted maple top looks, and having a separate top on this price range, it's kind of rare. But the color options with this scooter are not my favorite. This was the best one in my opinion, still not the perfect for me, but still nice looking scooter. The headstock, a little bit cheap looking, and the shape is not my favorite. But for example, the ESP-LTD EC10, it had a lot more cheaper looking headstock than this one. This kind of ball neck, it's kind of not my favorite thing. It doesn't look so good than those with the blade. For example, this EpiPole, it has this blade and it looks much better in my opinion. And then the fretboard neck, solid looks, nothing to complain in my opinion, and all the hardware pickups looks good. Not my favorite scooter on this price range look wise, but still nice looking scooter in my opinion. I would rate the looks of this scooter 3.8 out of 5. Then the hardware. Here nothing real to complain about. You can get better quality tuners on this price range. For example, ESP-LTD AC10, it has more stable tuners than this one, and also the Jackson JS 2030 Think. But this is kind of on the middle in my opinion from the scooters that I have tested on this price range. I didn't have any big problems with these tuners. Not the best ones, but solid still. And the other hardware quality and the looks of these, everything is working correctly, at least for me. And all the tremolo block, everything springs on the backside. This didn't have any extra springs coming with it. And the tremolo bar and the bridge saddles all looks great for the price in my opinion. I would rate the hardware of this scooter 4.5 out of 5. Then the electronics. I will talk more about the tones of this scooter in the sound section. But the electronics, as you saw under the backplate here, in my opinion, the cleanest job from these 5 under $200 scooters. The best job with electronics and the solderings. Everything looks great, and I would expect that I will not face any problems with electronics with this, at least for quite a long time. And the pickups, kind of budget pickups from the Ibanez, but still the tones of it are great for this price, and especially the versatility of these pickups kind of give edge for this Ibanez. So the electronics overall, I have nothing to complain. Everything works great, everything looked great inside even, so I would rate the electronics of this scooter 4.8 out of 5. Then the build quality. Couple cons with this scooter and flaws. Some uneven frets, really common on this price point, and some fret buzz. I managed to fix the fret buzz with some saddle and truss rod adjustment, so it was not hard, it's quite easy in my opinion, and on this price range it's really typical. Almost every scooter that I have tested on this price range out of the box, those have had some fret buzz. but not all. For example, Jackson GS2023 and ASPL that is AC10. Those didn't have any fret bus. And then quite sharp fret edges, at least on this my copy. I usually watch some other reviews and read customer reviews from the music retailer's side, and from there I didn't really find much complaining about the sharp fret edges, but on this my copy, quite sharp. I had to sand these a little bit to make this more comfortable to play for me, and now it's great. But yeah, quite sharp fret edges. So that was the biggest con, in my opinion, with this guitar overall and with the build and finish quality of this guitar. But otherwise, no flaws, no issues with the finish and the coloring. Some guitars on this price point have those. Yeah, no, nothing to complain, no scratches, no bumps on this one. Yeah, everything looked great. But still, in my opinion, Ibanez should make these frets a little bit less sharp, in my opinion. So I would rate the build and finish quality of this guitar on this my copy 3.5 out of 5. Not bad, but not great either. And then the playability. Those sharp fret edges are the worst thing playability wise too, caused some problems for me, but other than that, playability is great for the price. I would even say amazing. This is really comfortable to play, in my opinion. The neck, it's really thin. These medium frets with the low action make this guitar really effortless to play. Different runs with this guitar are really easy and comfortable, in my opinion, and all the corners of the fretboard are, in my opinion, quite easy to access. I have quite small hands, but even folks with smaller hands, I think that this works great. And even if you have bigger hand, and if you have a little bit thicker fingers, one really great thing with this guitar is that the string spacing, the space between the strings, it is a little bit more wider than many other guitars. That helps a lot, and even though that I have really small hands, this is the great feature, and it also makes the finger picking slightly easier. And also on this price range, the Squier, it had the same string spacing. So those things make this really comfortable to play, and also quite flat fretboard. It makes moving your hand up and down really easy, in my opinion. I really like the playability of this guitar. Jackson JS2023 on this same price range, it has a little bit different great things than this one, but these are kind of on the same level. Great playability. I would rate the playability of this guitar 4.8 out of 5. These quite sharp fret edges took something out of that rating. If the fret edges would be smoother, the playability of this guitar would be 5 out of 5, in my opinion. Let's now compare this Ibanez Gio to couple kind of similar options. And let's start with the Bullet Stratocaster. The Bullet Stratocaster HSS is really versatile guitar, and it's a little bit cheaper than the Ibanez Gio. And on this graph you can see some of the similarities and differences highlighted. Pickups. Both of these have kind of the budget pickups of each brand, Squier and Ibanez. Quality is on the same level, in my opinion. And then the body woods. This really comes down to your own personal preferences. Do you like the Wilted Maple top looks or not? I think that tonally this doesn't make a noticeable difference. Then the frets. I think that Gio here offers more versatility and is slightly more smoother to play, but the Bullet Strat was quite nice too. And the pickups, of course, Gio takes the edge here, in my opinion, on versatility. And then the nut is one difference. I think the Bullet Stratocaster synthetic bow nut, it's kind of bad. Look at like it has been used for a couple years, and you probably need to replace it sooner than the plastic nut of the Gio. And here, if you want a Fender styled Stratocaster for you, then yeah, this Squier Bullet Stratocaster, it's nice guitar, in my opinion. But overall, I think that Ibanez Gio takes the edge here quite easily still, or even though it's a little bit more expensive, but it's more comfortable to play and it just offers so much more versatility. And yeah, I would go with the Ibanez here. And the price difference, it's definitely justified. And then let's compare this Ibanez Gio, the couple $100 more expensive Ibanez RT470DX, and there's the reason why I usually don't pronounce the full names of Ibanez scooters. I usually say like this Ibanez or Ibanez Gio. So yeah, so not with this RT470, it offers slightly more wider neck, and for some folks this is more comfortable, especially if you have large hand or if you are for some reason used to a little bit more wider neck. But usually for beginners I think that more narrow neck is more comfortable and easier. And then with pickups, you get better quality pickups with this more expensive Ibanez for sure. This ceramic infinity pickups, budget pickups, great for the money definitely, but still if you go with this expensive one, yeah, it's better. Then the bodywood, tonally I usually think that bodywoods with the electric scooters doesn't matter much because we are dealing with the magnetic field that directly takes the vibration of the strings. So yeah, but Meranti, it's also kind of the cheap bodywood, but it's more durable due to my understanding than the Poplar. So yeah, and of course with the Gio here you get the quilted maple top. So if you like that one, it's a nice option. And then with the frets, you get larger frets, and usually with these the frets are more effortless to hit. But with the smaller frets, you can usually lower the action a little bit more, especially if with these budget scooters there can be some uneven frets. And here, if you have uneven frets with the extra jumbo frets, yeah, that can cause some problems and you can't lower the action much. And then the price difference is quite big. The neck, Whiter 3, it's more comfortable in my opinion than this GRX shape, but both are really thin in my opinion. So yeah, and with this more expensive one you get the Floyd Rose, and especially for beginners I don't usually recommend Floyd Rose. It's one thing more to learn, but don't be afraid of these locking tremolos, Floyd Rose bridges. You can handle those for sure if you are ready to learn something extra. And here, yeah, you get better quality with this more expensive one. And so here, if you have the money for this more expensive one and the Floyd Rose bridge doesn't bother you, then yeah, I would say that go with this Ibanez RT470. But if your budget is 200, then this Gio is a great option. But you can see here that this Gio still doesn't have much of the qualities of the more expensive Ibanez scooter. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's the bad thing. In my opinion, it's great that when you are ready to pay more with Ibanez, you get more, because with some brands, if you spend a couple $100 more on this price range, you get still the same pickups. And the price difference, it's definitely justified here too. Now it's time to listen how this scooter sounds. I recorded clean, crunch and distorted tones with this axe, and both the rhythm and lead parts. I used this microcube and I show you the settings that I used with the sound samples. Let's check the sound samples out. the most versatile guitar, in my opinion, under $200 that I have tested. Solid distorted tones, solid crunch tones, solid clean tones. If you are looking for an electric guitar on this price range that is really versatile, tone-wise this would be my pick. And especially the clean tones, I really like those. I've had a lot of fun with this one, with playing the cleans, and also this can do metal, definitely in my opinion. And with the distorted tones I really like the sounds of this neck humbucker. It's kind of thicker, warmer, and not so cold and bright. So yeah, with distorted tones I really like the neck pickup. The bridge, sometimes it's a little bit too bright and spanky in my opinion, but not bad either. And solid single coil, maybe with the Squire Bullet Stratocaster you get better single coil pickups, but still this adds so much versatility, it's really great. And in my opinion, on this price point, this is the guitar that can do anything for you tone-wise. Maybe, for example, this Epiphone, it has some rock tones available that this doesn't have. Kind of thicker, warmer rock tones. I like tones of this guitar too. And then the Jackson JS 2020 Dinky. If you are just looking for a guitar for metal and don't need so much versatility, then I think that the Jackson JS 2020 Dinky is a better option for you. But I would rate the tones of this guitar 4.8 out of 5. Then the value for money. Yeah, everything that I have talked about. Yeah, I think that this guitar offers amazing value for the money. That you can get guitar like this under $200. It's really great. When I started out, there was no options like this available. Only con value for money wise is that you can get better tuners for this price point, and then the fret edges, but for some reason most of the users are not experiencing any issues with the fret edges. Maybe it was just this my copy, but yeah, I faced some issues. I would rate the value for money, and the versatility, it's amazing with this guitar for this price. The rating is 4.9 out of 5. Then the overall score. First, let's go through the cons of this guitar. Quite sharp fret edges on this my copy at least, and then some uneven frets, and these cause some fret buzz for me. Biggest cons are those in my opinion. And also not the most beautiful guitar on this price range. Yeah, and the tuners are not the best on this price point either. So you can get more stable and better tuners under $200. But yeah, those are kind of the cons with this guitar. But then the pros, the great things. Still solid build quality, not any game breakers, not any problems with the coloring or the glue on the fretboard. I had that problem with the Squire. Yeah, that was kind of bad. And really stable package still, and the hardware was good, great in my opinion, and the electronics and job with those was best on this price point in my opinion. All the solderings looked really great, so I would expect that the electronics of this guitar are not going to cause any problems for me. And then the best things, really amazing playability for this price, and really great and versatile tones. So overall, I would rate this guitar 4.3 out of 5. It slightly takes the edge from the Jackson JS 2020 Dinky because this is a lot more versatile. Yeah. But who is this guitar for? Yeah, if you are looking for a really versatile guitar under $200 that offers you great playability, then I think that this is the best option in my opinion. I really like this one, and I'm going to keep this for quite a long time. Maybe upgrading the pickups at some point, but not yet. I'm going to go with these for some time. Yeah. And overall for beginners, versatile guitars are great in my opinion, because usually your musical taste and what you want to play, it kind of evolves during your guitar journey. At least that happened for me. So this kind of versatile guitar is really good option. But this is not the best option for you if you are just looking for a metal guitar. You want great metal tones from it. Then the Jackson JS 2020 Dinky is better option in my opinion. I would go with that. Yeah, it's better for metal than this, even though that this can do metal. But that Jackson, it just is built for that. But other than that, yeah, maybe if you are after some great single coil tones. Maybe Squire Bullet Strat would be a nice option for you also if you don't want humbucker tones. Yeah, but other than that, this is the best option in my opinion, under $200. Remember to check the video where 5 of these scooters under $200 are compared head to head. And also watch the separate no-talk sound demo of this Ibanez and the unboxing video too. And check the latest price of this scooter by clicking the link in the description. It helps me to produce more scooter content and it adds no extra cost for you. Subscribe for more, maybe I do some more content about this, and I will. I have recorded sound samples with and reviews like with 8 amps with this one, so you can check those out if you want to hear how this performs with different amps under $100 and $200. So yeah, that kind of wraps it up. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button and subscribe for more, and hopefully I will see you soon.